Watching Issues at Hand on Church of Uganda Family TV. It's a wonderful Friday morning. Thank you for joining us here at Church of Uganda Family TV and at Good Morning Family. We hope that you are well today and that you are experiencing the mercies of the Lord that are new every morning. Now, Issues at Hand is proudly brought to you by Protea Hotel in Teve. Yes, we see many weddings happening this year. We see many conferences happening this year. So Protea Hotel in Teve is the place to be. Make your reservation and booking today so that you can enjoy the best in first class experience as far as the hotel experience is concerned. Please, the numbers are on your screen. Please make that reservation and booking. Now, when it comes to Issues at Hand on Friday, we always have a member from the Uganda Police Force to take us through some of the things that we need to know as far as security is concerned, as far as maintaining law and order is concerned, which is one of their key mandates. And today, the discussion we're having a very exciting discussion with many parts and segments. We are talking about security, security awareness, especially when it comes to the new year 2023, and we are having discussions on gender security. We're having discussions on things like child abuse, things like crime, things like kidnap, things like child labor. And so for parents out there, this segment of Issues at Hand is for you, and we hope that you will learn from this. And with me today to have this discussion is Afande Nathan Katumba, who is a community liaison officer from Katwe Police. Thank you for joining us on Issues at Hand this Friday morning.
Thank you, moderator. I'm glad to be here. ASP Nathan Katumba is my name. I'm the community liaison officer, Police Katwe.
Fantastic. So when it comes to security, there's a term that is often used, and sometimes we can be misled by terms, especially when it comes to our security. So this term I'm talking about is general security. When we mention the word general security, what exactly do we mean?
Thank you, moderator. General security is the state of mind. Insecurity is built from the brains of an individual. You can either choose to be secure or insecure, in line with how you do things, in line with how you program yourself. Yes, in line with what you decide to do. Yes, whatever you think to do, and how to do it, and when to do it, and where to do it, can either impact on your security or insecurity in life. Because let me give an example. You know it is late. It's coming to like 2 in the night, and you decide to move on a street alone. Yes, at the end of the day, you might get some challenges. So you've built it in your mind, and you know it is late, so you approach a street at a leeward hour. At the end of the day, you're risking your security as an individual. That is why I'm saying it is the state of mind. It is how you decide to do it, which can either affect your security or can make you insecure. So it begins from us. Yes. When you're going to sleep at night and you don't check on your doors to see that all your doors are locked, at the end of the day you're making yourself vulnerable to what? To become insecure. You'll make it easy for the person who has come to attack you to penetrate through. But when you do what we call target hardening in security, yes, you target harden your security. You make sure that the doors are locked well. You make sure that your house has good burglar proof. Yes. At the end of the day, it will become a little bit complicated for someone to penetrate into your house. By the time someone reaches you in the house, I'm very sure you would have at least communicated to either the neighbors, yes, or the security or the police around you. So the police's reaction, yes, may it come at the right time where you've tried to connect to police. But when someone easily breaks into your house and finds you on the bed, by the time you realize the guy is on the bed, yes, he has attacked you on the bed, you will not have time even to communicate to your neighbor.
So by target hardening, you mean that it's pivotal that we have the right mindset, which makes it hard for us to be targets.
Exactly. You have the right mindset that makes it hard for a criminal to come and attack you.
And what does this mindset entail? Now, you've given us good examples, and I would like you to explore it further and explain it further for us, what having the right mindset means.
Thank you, moderator. Having the right mindset, a right mindset entails awareness. You're getting it? It entails awareness. When we talk of awareness, how are you equipped in line with knowing what you're supposed to do to protect yourself? We usually have meetings, and this is by the part of the meetings, like when we are hosted on TVs. There are people who don't care. They don't want to come for meetings. They don't want to know. At the end of the day, you will find when they are vulnerable, when they even don't know the small security tips that can help them, yes, to be security aware and to avoid such incidents. Whenever we put our meetings in villages, please, members should come and attend. When you come and attend, there are things that you may think are obvious, but at the end of the day, we shall talk about them. Then you realize, you'll say, I didn't know that one can even cause issues to my life. There's let me give an example. There is a guy, there is a boy who operates a mobile money shop in Natete. It's called Moses. Moses recently, he sells phones, these small phones, and he operates a mobile money shop. So recently, someone came to him and bought a small phone. After buying a small phone, he took it. After like some 2 days, the person brought it back. I was like, this phone is not working well, please change for me. So Moses, because of this keeping, because of the relationship between him and his clients, yes, he did not want to make life hard for a client. He got the phone back, yes, and he exchanged another phone, not knowing what this person had used the phone for. So in the process, he gets the same phone. He's like, let me try this phone to see whether it works, because the complainant had complained that it has some issues. So he opted to try to use it for his business there. He got his mobile money line and put it in the phone. After a week, he was tracked. Officers came from Bujuko with a van, arrested him, got the phones and took him. At the end of that day, he got confused. He didn't know what had happened. When he reached at the police, they told him, there is a case of robbery. They knocked two guys on a motorcycle and robbed them, yes, and you're using a phone that someone inserted that line. It is either you or any other person, but he was got with the phone. So it was upon him to prove whether it was him or not, which was a bit difficult, because already the evidence is there, the phone is there where they inserted the line. So it becomes a little bit complex. So at the end of the day, for you, when you just take it general and say, someone brings a phone, he has brought back my phone, let me just insert my line. At the end of the day, you'll take it you'll take it generally in a general perspective. but the results of your being you're taking it in a general perspective may end up being more complicated than even what you expected. So at the end of the day, he had to prove, he had to do what. It became so hard because even they had even impounded the 2 vehicles that were being used to knock people. Yes, to knock the ones that knocked border guys and robbed them. And one border guy, I think he passed on or what, I'm not so sure. So at the end of the day, these small things that we may not put attention on, which you may think are small, may end up tarnishing your life, may end up taking you in prison when even you're not the right person who is supposed to what, sometimes to go in prison. Yes, so generally we should not take things light. You begin insulting someone, you begin abusing someone gets anger and slaps you. Recently we had an incident at Katwe. This boy, the lady was washing her utensils. This boy comes behind, he begins touching on the butt of the woman, behind her butt. She had an axe. She just turned and hit him an axe. Not cut him, he hit him with an axe. So when they called us, we responded. We got the boy, we tried to check him, realized the boy, I think the life had gone. So we got the boy, we took him to a city mortuary. Reaching the city mortuary, we realized that the boy has not yet passed on. We had to take him to the hospital. Yes, so for him, he assumed that just touching a woman is a simple thing. Touching her is something simple. But at the end of the day, she ended up committing a more hardened crime than even for him what he expected. So you can end up losing your life like that, where you think something is simple. At the end of the day, someone may react in a very big way. Yes, so we should not take things for granted. Let's really try to know what we do, and we should know what kinds of crime we do. Yes, and not knowing that is a crime does not mean that you're not guilty. Does not mean that the crime has not happened.
Ignorance of the law is not
defense. It's not. Ignorance of the law is not defense. Not knowing that is a crime will not give you a defense that you're on the right track. You will be convicted. You will be taken to court.
And that's important to talk about general security, because over the festive season, even after as much sensitization, especially that here on issues at hand we are trying to do, there was still a problem of a high crime rate, especially things like accidents, but as well as other related crimes. And we are sat here asking, what is the cause of this? Is it that people are not so conscious of their security? Is it that there needs to be more that is done by police and other security agencies to ensure that these criminals are brought to justice and are cleaned off the street? What is the cause of this?
The cause is generally being not careful. Yes, security is two-way. Yes, as a police officer, what have I done to see that people are secure? Yes, as a community member, how have you helped police to see that you're secure? There are two things. That is why we keep on talking about neighborhood watch. Yes, the general public when we the issues of accidents. What is police supposed to do in line with preventing accidents? And one of the things we do is sensitization, and we even do it more when we are coming towards festive seasons. Yes, this time even we reach an extent of even we reach an extent even curtailing some buses that when they go, they are going to make one route, they are not going to come back. Those are all security measures to see that people are secure. Yes. The spokesperson of traffic, Afande, she came on TV and she spoke out. She told people what they are supposed to do, what they are not supposed to do. Don't drive while you're talking on phone. Avoid eating while driving, because you'll concentrate all your minds. All your minds will go on eating. All your minds will be on the phone. At the end of the day, you will cause what? You will cause an accident. Travel. When you know you have a problem with your sight. There are people who have problems with their sight. Yes. When someone does not see well at night, why should you drive a vehicle at night if you have a problem with your sight? Yeah, yes. What is all that that you're chasing for? You will end up losing your life in just one night. Yes. Driving, there are people who drive, they put kids. Someone drives, a kid is here. He's driving, the kid is seated in his thighs. Other people, like recently, someone left a kid in the vehicle just near Bond here at Ndeba. Someone left a kid in the vehicle. The kid began playing around with the gears. The vehicle ramped into other vehicles, knocked 4 vehicles. At the end of the day, the kid can lose his life. People's vehicles have been damaged. That is all crime. Yes, someone will come to police and will put in a case of damaging his vehicle. That is all crime. Who has damaged it? Which vehicle has damaged it? It is your vehicle. At the end of the day, a parent who has become negligent on that, we have charges. We can charge that parent. Yes, you have become negligent. How do you begin leaving a kid in the vehicle alone? A kid who doesn't, who thinks that everything around him is a toy, is something to play with. At the end of the day, your kid will lose his life. He has knocked people's vehicles. Yes, so it will come back to you. This takes me right to parents who don't care about their children. Yes, who think that they can move away and they can go away after indirectly committing crimes. We all know that a child is a person below 18 years. Yes, a child is someone who is supposed to be at home. There are things that a child is not supposed to go to. Yes, we usually teach parents. We tell them, and some of them even know. Yes, at the end of the day, you begin sleeping in a house and your child is away. We are coming to a new year. Your child is away. Then tomorrow we realize that among the people who have died, your children were children. They are most of them were children. At the end of the day, you as a parent, the law will take you on as a parent.
Actually, on that point,
Yes.
Afandi, it brings us to what happened at Freedom City Mall. And now it's unfortunate about the children that passed away, and it is a big loss to this country. And there are ongoing discussions about parents not taking children to certain events. But also the question that we have as the public is the fact that this event was given the green light by police, and there were police officers there. Couldn't they have done more in terms of, especially whilst the revelers were entering, and stopping children from entering the event, knowing that this event was not for children of that age?
Yeah, they would have done more. I will not comment so much on that because the PRO will handle it more, or he has been handling it better. But me, I'm going to stick so much on the responsibility of a parent. Yes, vis-a-vis a police officer. Yes, there are children. There are points where children play from in those in like an in that place. There are points where children play from, but it's a responsibility of a parent to see how his child has got there. Yes, there are children parks where they play from, but it is a responsibility of a parent to see how a child has reached in those playing park where children play from. Yes, so if tomorrow you wake up and your child is not in that place, and your child has been got elsewhere, and he has got trouble elsewhere, we shall ask you, how did your child move away from you, from the child play park, and he accessed other points? You're getting it. There are many people we have very many people involved. There are these guys who on because police does not be on strictly the road, the door where they are collecting money from. But I will not dwell so much in that. I just want to talk about the responsibility of a parent. Yes, the responsibility of a parent, and how a parent will be criminally reliable if he does not take charge of his child. Yes, in such events, such occurrences where we've got some things that have caused trouble in a country. So parents should know what they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do with their children.
And talking about parents, something that has also seen a rise of recent, especially even in the festive season, and as children are on holidays from school, is child abuse. But for those of us who might not be aware, and there might be some parents out there who are practicing it and they might not be aware, I would like you to define for us what child abuse is and what are some of the forms of child abuse.
Thank you so much, moderator. Child abuse is simply mistreatment of a child. Mistreatment of a child involves many forms of mistreatment. We have sexual, we have physical, psychological. Those are all forms of child abuse. How are you taking care of the child? They have given you, like recently we was it either 2 days or back, a lady came to police. I think she got issues with the father of the children, so she came to police, wanted to report a case against the grandfather, the father of the father who gives birth to the father of the child, claiming that they removed the children from her. But unfortunately, she got her son locked out at the gate, and yet for her, she was not now staying with the father of the children. So she came at police to report. Yes. So you've taken a child away from the mother, and at the end of the day, you fail to take care of the child. That becomes child abuse. You've not rendered services to the child that can make the child comfortable to live in the family. Yes. So it involves physical where you end up beating a child. You beat. There is disciplining a child, but there is mistreating a child where you end up even beating a child to an extent that the child is hospitalized. Yes, that becomes criminal. Those are all forms of child abuse. Psychologically, physical. Yes, you torture a child psychologically. You lock him out of the gate. You torturing his mind. Yes, at the end of the day, the child may think of doing other bad things because he thinks he's not loved in the family. Yes, so those are all forms of crime, all forms of what? Child abuse. So we should avoid doing such things. Otherwise, you'll end up being charged and taken to court. There is nothing like saying that this one is my child. A child is a property of the government. Yes. Wow. So you're going to be against the state. Yes, it is you, the parent, against the state. So the state will be in for the child, and the parent will be taken on. So let's be very careful on whatever we do. Yes, we don't want things that are going to tarnish your image in front of your child. We end up taking you to cells. You spend there 5 months. Then when you come out, or you spend there 5 years, you spend there some period. When you come out at the end of the day, you'll begin disowning your child, saying, if my child can take me to prison, then I can no longer be with my child. So it will begin spoiling the relationship between your children and you. So we should really try to avoid that. Thank you.
Yes, that is a child abuse, and at the end of the day, it's our decision, our core decision, and our core responsibility as parents to love our children and to protect them from harm. Harm from external forces, but from internal forces as well. As instead of abusing our children, we are the ones who should love them the most. So let's do that during this holiday season. And another thing that is on the rise as far as mistreatment of children is concerned is child labor, where a lot of children are being put to work, and yet as far as the law is concerned, children are not supposed to work. If the only avenues that labor laws give for children to work is if it's light work, but we see a lot of children doing work with adults, and for many they are not even getting paid, or they are getting paid peanuts. But on the onset, it is not right for children to work. So why is this issue becoming even worse as Uganda progresses? And how can we as parents ensure that we stifle this issue and protect our children from being used and exploited as labor workers?
Thank you, moderator. Child labor is criminal according to the law. A kid below 18 years is not supposed to be employed. A kid below 18 is not supposed to be exploited in line with working and payment. But a kid below 18, we shall I don't want us to dwell so much on a kid not working. No. When a kid is at home, he's supposed to do housework.
Yes.
And that is working. We don't want us to think that a kid is supposed to be there without working. When a kid is at home, he's supposed to do housework.
That's the light work.
Yes, that is the light work. That is the light work at home, especially during holidays. Usually, parents go with their children sometimes at the workplaces to just do those lighter things. But he sits with his father in the shop, yes, and the father tells him, send for me this, bring this, send for me this. We are not talking of that. We are talking of you knowing that someone is 13 years. You end up going, you get that person. You end up connecting that person to your friend that have got for a maid. You're getting it. You have got for a maid. So someone is 13 years, 14, you connect him, and tomorrow we hear that the person is a maid in someone's home. That is all child labor. That is criminal. Yes. But that, like how I said, generally people take it normal. Yes. And they think that it is not crime. So as whenever we get information about that, we come and arrest the people. We arrest the person. We arrest the person who was connected, the person who brought the child to you, and we arrest you, the person we've got with the child. Yes, then we charge you and take you to court. Those are all forms of child labor. Usually there is a case where we arrested a parent. The child was sick of epilepsy. So at the end of that day, she was near a charcoal stove, and I think the epilepsy came and the kid touched in fire. So fire burnt her. When we got the child, we decided to take the child to hospital. We realized that she was young. We tried to interrogate her. She told us how she came. She told us how her auntie brought her to work. Yes. So we arrested, we looked for the aunt, we arrested her. Yes. Then we arrested the person where she was working at. We had to take them to court. So let's try to avoid. There are people who are out there who are above 18 years who are looking for employment. Let's get the right people to avoid committing crime. Get the right people to work to avoid committing crime. Otherwise, you will not have any defense when we get you employing a child who is who is below 18 years. The law will take you on. So let's try to avoid those things that for you people call simple. They are not simple. At the end of the day, you'll find when you are behind bars, when it is these are complicated cases where it is you against the state. These are complicated cases. You face the state. Yes, at the end of the day, it will be hard when you are having a case where it is you against a fellow individual. It is very easy to mediate such cases and you're done with them. But if it is these cases against you and the state, they are very complicated cases. Yes, at the end of the day, the state's interest will be to punish you. They will be to punish you, and punishment can entail a period of time when you are behind bars, yes, or a fine, or both. Those are the punishments of a state. Either you pay, yes, or you're convicted and you serve a period of time, or both. But when these cases involving an individual, you may be slapped an individual, you can reach an extent of opting for one. Yes, you end up treating you end up in court. Court will tell you people talk. At the end of the day, the person forgives you. Then he says, please just treat me. Then it ends there. But for the state, you will find when you've been remanded, then again you come back, they listen to you. Then again, in the conviction, state will know how to convict you, which charges to convict you with. So let's try to be so careful on such things.
I'm talking about something that you can definitely be charged with when it comes to courts of law is a crime called kidnap that has become also a problem. And so is it that as parents we need to be more vigilant? Because when it comes to kidnapping, it's unfortunate some of the stories are about kids being snatched while they are playing. So there's that discussion between parents who say, no, for me my child will remain in the house and in the gate. I want to keep him safe. Then there are those who say, oh, but children are not prisoners. You have to allow the child to go and play in the community, but we have to keep an eye on them. So what is the best way for us to protect our children from kidnap, and why is it becoming such a big issue in recent times?
Thank you, moderator. I'll not. That is why your last comment of keeping your eye. All these are security measures. All these are security measures to see that we are safe in our communities. That is why I keep on drilling so much on the aspect of neighborhood watch. Watch my back, I watch yours. Yes. What does it entail in line with community awareness? What does it entail? It is a brand that has very many aspects in one brand, in one complex. That is awareness. Watch my back, I watch yours. Who is who in the community? It is you. Who is your neighbor? What are his names? Yes? In form of this, we are doing this in line with intelligence. Intelligence speaks it loud, and it is normal to know what your neighbor is doing, it is not a crime. It is normal to know who your neighbor is. It is not a crime. Because tomorrow at the end of the day, knowing your neighbor and knowing what he does and knowing when he comes back from work, what time he enters, yes, may it be a chance for him tomorrow to have a life. You you'll get to know that my neighbor usually comes back at around 8. It is approaching 10, 11. You've not seen the vehicle coming back. Your psychology will trickle you to maybe see how to call. Yes? And that is another aspect of neighborhood watch, a branded neighborhood watch, communication. And how are you going to communicate? Are you going to communicate? What entails communication? Communication entails you having a good relationship with your neighbor and having his phone contact. You cannot communicate to someone when you don't have his contact. Yes, and that is all neighborhood watch. It is all branded in neighborhood watch. Communication. Your neighbors, after neighbors knowing each other, share contacts. At the end of the day, the contact that you've shared will save a life. You'll call your neighbor. When you see your neighbor is not picking, you'll become a little bit inquisitive to know why is he not picking. At the end of the day, maybe you'll try to access maybe the area LC, and you tell him, you narrate to him, you tell him, yesterday that night my neighbor did not come back. Maybe I've come to make a report. At the end of the day, you'll end up going to police to make a report. Yes, as a concerned member of the community, where it will even help police, because the earlier, like such issues of kidnap, the earlier you communicate, yes, the earlier we shall try to see how we can react to incidents. But when you communicate late, at the end of the day, that is why sometimes you find when someone has been killed in the house. We had a case in Busabala. This lady was working with some other elderly lady. They were operating a saloon. So after like some period, the neighbors see a vehicle coming and they were packing things in a fuso. So the neighbors asked that lady, "You people, you're shifting away." Then this other woman was like, yeah, we are shifting away. We have got a better place where we can do this business from. So neighbors were like, hey, it's fine. Success in that in that new place. But the neighbors were not so inquisitive, because the saloon was there are two people who were working in that saloon, that elderly woman and this other young lady. So for them, it was this young lady who was packing things on the vehicle. They were not inquisitive to ask, where is the person you are working with, because you are packing things alone. They were not so inquisitive to ask that. So at the end of the day, the vehicle packs things and leaves. After 4 days, I think the relatives were calling the phone of their mother, and it was not going through. They decided to go to LC. LC came to police. We had to go where they were working from, where the old woman was working from. On accessing the house, going into the bedroom, the old lady was, they had covered her and she had died 4 days back. The body even had begun rotting. You're getting it. So when we went, we went to the community. We tried to talk to them, ask them about that. They were like, for us, we talked to the lady. She was telling us that they are relocating elsewhere, that this place has become complicated in line with their working, And they went, and the vehicle the vehicle decided to get that road, and it went. So, but the good thing, that case is under investigation. We are trying to look for that lady, and I'm very sure we shall get her. Yes. So let's try to be security conscious, in line with various aspects of seeing that we fight crime, like communication in the homes. Yes.
And is there anything else we can do to ensure that our families are safe?
Thank you, moderator. We are in an era of technology, and that one we cannot fight it. It is the way to go. So we usually there are incidents that police becomes aware of because of the alertness of an individual who maybe capture something on phone. Yes. And this is how police can get interested in line with preventing more crime in relation to what has happened. It is not a crime to capture something on phone where a kid is being tortured, and you come to police. It is not a crime. Let's also embark on that.
But according to the new Computer Misuse Act, it's a crime to film a person without their permission.
It's a crime to film someone without his permission, but there are some circumstances where the intention of a person who has filmed is totally to see that crime is prevented. Yes. A case can stand. Cases can stand in line with how it has been perceived, and in line with the intention of trying to prevent what was happening. Those are different things. When a child is being tortured, and maybe you film and you come to police, there is no way it will become a crime against you, because first and foremost you are seeing that the life of a child is secured in line with your cooperation with police. That is why I brought it to that level of maybe if a child. I don't want to take it to a perspective of you getting a phone, you begin filming some people, you begin doing what, adults what. At the end of the day, you will commit a crime. That law will take you on. We should that one we should avoid. But me, I'm in line with the child what? These issues of child torture. It is not a crime when you just a simple video and you see how a child can be what? And you see how a child can be helped. Then the other issue is the media. The media should help us in line with such crimes. Yes? The media should help us in line with such crimes. Please, when you see things that are against the law, yes, capture them and sensitize the public, because you have the airtime. Every time you're on what? You're on every time we have you people are on air. You can help the Ugandans, you can help our brothers and sisters to come out with things that are bad, and you tell the public that please this and this and this do it, please this and this and this don't do. At the end of the day, our people will be what? Are going to be aware of simple things that we may think are simple, but at the end of the day will become complex. Thank you.
Well, that's very amazing, and so it's important that we heed this advice. Now, something that Uganda Police is always telling us, especially here at Issues at Hand, is that security is not only the purview of police. Security first and foremost starts with the individual, and when it comes to community policing, it's an effective model because police works together with the community, with the families in the community to ensure that there's security in a particular area. So come this new year 2023, how can this relationship between us and police get better so that our security is even more much more vibrant and much more strong? Because the idea is as we progress each year, there must be a reduction in crime. There must be a reduction from many of these social vices in society. So how can we work better in 2023 with police towards achieving peace and security in our communities?
Thank you. The only way to handle this, the only way to reduce crime in our communities, first and foremost, the police officers out there, you have a great role to play in line with preventing crime, because it is your duty to see that people are protected, people and their properties are protected. Yes, it is your duty. It is a service that you went and asked for, and the government gave you the tools to see that to see that people are protected. It is your duty as a police officer to see that if maybe someone has called for help, you see how to react fast and go and see how to help that. You react fast to see how someone can be secure, because the more you delay, yes, the more a life will be taken. It is your duty as the community members to see that you access police and you take your issue. Police may not access each and everyone's home to know which problems you have. Yes, so it is your duty to see that you create that rapport to come to police. Yes, and police carries out an investigation, or police helps you in any other way which you think is right to be assisted in line with the law. So when you're out there, yes, try to access police and you see that police helps you. When you go to police and you're not assisted, yes, and this is where the problem now comes. You access police, you log in your issue, then tomorrow you'll see that things are not moving to your expectations. The challenge with some police officers, they want to think that they are the only people. They want to think that sometimes they are the only ones who know how the law is supposed to work, which is so unfortunate. These are brothers and sisters of ours. Some of them who come to police. He comes to police expecting a way how something is supposed to be done, and sometimes he's aware of what follows what and when. Yes, so at the end of the day, he has the right to complain. And let's not stop there, because whenever you come to police and you've not got help and you stop there, you're going to put a general complaint on the entire police, that when you go to police you're not assisted. And that entire complaint on police, is not, when you come out and say when you go to police and when you go to police you don't get assistance, that one will not solve your problem. You will continue with your problem. You're getting it. You will continue lamenting that I went to police and I was not assisted. But your problem that took you to police, you will still have the same problem. So go an extra mile and you see how your problem is solved. When you've not got a remedy, when you've not got how your problem has been solved, yes, go an extra mile. We have people who are in charge of that first desk that you've come to. If you feel everything has not worked out the way you think, the DPC's office is open. OCCID is the one who is in charge of all investigations at the division. All. When you've handled the file in room 2 and you feel the CID has not helped you to your expectation, go and consult from the OCCID. The OCCID will call the CID and will ask him this. You will ask him questions where at the end of the day, if the OCCID was maybe having a corrupt mind of doing things, Yes, at the end of the day, the CID will realize that if my boss is aware of this, and I do things not in an professional way, I might have issues with my boss. At the end of the day, the CID will have been checked. Those are the checks and balances we usually talk about. Yes, and who does the checks and balances? They are our bosses who do the checks. So if you don't give chance to a boss of the person who has not treated you well, that means they will not check the character. And whenever we do that, the OCCID will know what kind of CID he's working with. You're getting my point? He will get to know that if I'm giving an assignment, because we have police officers whom we give assignments, knowing that if I've given Baraza an assignment, this Baraza is a focused boy. He's going to make sure everything is done at the right time. Yes, where an individual will leave police when he's so happy. So you will give chance to the in-charge investigations to know his officers. Will know that this one can accomplish a task. Yes, this one can handle a task and he does it well. This one is a bit lazy. So it will even reduce. It will even help him to reduce. It will even help him to reduce responsibilities to that individual. And whenever the responsibilities are reduced from that individual, at the end of the day, the individual will begin asking himself, why is it that for me I'm given few files? Why is it that the other person has many files and me I have few to investigate? So the person will check himself. So it can even help that individual to improve his work relationship between him and the community members out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan Katumba Afande, for taking us through this wonderful discussion, and thank you for agreeing to always come to each other's hand to address the nation, especially on pertinent matters such as security. And thank you, our dear family members and viewers, for tuning in to Issues at Hand. And you've heard it from Afande. He has explained that we must be vigilant when it comes to security, for not just for ourselves, but especially for our children and our families and for our communities. And police is always happy to work together with us to ensure that security prevails, especially peace and security prevails. Thank you for joining us, and we shall return on Monday. For now, enjoy your weekend, have a lovely time, and God richly bless you.